Eala, it's been quite a thrill ride for her this last year as well. I feel like last year at this event, it was a little bit of a coming out party where she had some great results coming from a wild card position as well. So I think the international interest in both of them is so high, and Miami being such a sort of a culture.
The Miami Open suddenly shifted in a shocking and unforeseen way, and right at the heart of it is one player who has entirely transformed the narrative surrounding the event, Eala. What began as an inspiring rise has quickly escalated into a serious behind-the-scenes problem, with tournament director James Blake reportedly rushing to bounce back from a sharp drop in ticket sales and audience interest. Only a few days earlier, the Miami Open was booming, the vibe was thrilling, the seats were filled, and ticket values were climbing rapidly. A large part of that momentum came from Eala's remarkable performance throughout the competition, as she wasn't just securing victories but delivering unforgettable highlights. Whenever she entered the court, it became a spectacle, with supporters arriving ahead of time, staying until the end, and bringing an incredible wave of excitement that elevated the entire tournament atmosphere. James Blake had noticed this impact from the start, even placing Eala on the main courts to maximize exposure and boost profits. It was a smart decision, and it paid off, as Eala quickly turned into the symbol of the Miami Open, attracting huge audiences and even bigger international attention, especially from Asian regions. Then everything changed in an instant.
Well beyond anything I could have dreamed of at that age.
Eala's exit in the round of 16 didn't simply conclude her run, it set off a chain reaction that few had anticipated. Almost instantly, ticket interest nosedived, and prices that had previously reached incredible highs fell sharply. The vibrant atmosphere that had defined the tournament's opening week seemed to disappear overnight. Reports indicate that daily income, once estimated between $500,000 and $1 million from ticket purchases and media streams, suffered a severe blow. With Eala no longer competing, that number is said to have dropped to nearly $100,000 per day. This wasn't a minor decline, it was a dramatic crash, and the causes are becoming more obvious. Eala wasn't just another emerging talent, she attracted a completely new wave of supporters, people who tuned in specifically to watch her rather than the sport itself. A significant share of that audience came from Asia, where her fame has surged rapidly. Once she was eliminated, those viewing figures fell quickly, dragging down sponsorship worth and broadcast interaction along with them. Now, according to reports, James Blake is reportedly under pressure. In an effort to spark renewed interest before the final stages, Blake has allegedly contacted the Women's Tennis Association with a bold suggestion to stage an exhibition match featuring Eala and rising Canadian talent Victoria Mboko. The concept is straightforward: bring Eala back, even for a single appearance, and revive the excitement that once energized the event. It's a decision that signals both urgency and acknowledgement. Urgency because the tournament is clearly struggling in her absence, and acknowledgement because it underlines just how influential she has become in a short period. This also isn't the first instance of such a scenario. During the Australian Open, a comparable situation reportedly occurred when Eala was knocked out early. Fans were left frustrated, and the overall hype surrounding the competition noticeably declined. The desire to see her compete didn't fade, it intensified, with reports even mentioning supporters gathering outside in hopes of a surprise return. In a remarkable move, former Prime Minister Anthony Albanese stepped in to back an exhibition featuring Eala. It was an unusual step, but it proved effective, as the match drew huge attention, bringing spectators back and restoring the lost excitement. That successful approach is now being looked at as a model.
The Brazilian fans, I mean, that's what you kind of want, you want that new atmosphere. Same for Eala, having all the Philippine fans from coming, to support her. It's fantastic. And
I cannot play Rafa anymore, but if he would make like 10 times time relation to Rafa, because you need to have some common sense sometimes.
Around that time, tournament director Tommy Haas reportedly considered similar last-minute solutions following a noticeable drop in spectator involvement. Although those plans never fully came to life, they highlighted an emerging pattern. Events are starting to understand Eala's rare ability to attract massive attention. And it's not only organizers taking notice, players themselves are beginning to experience the effect of her presence. Alicia Parks recently spoke about competing against Eala, offering a powerful insight. She described the intense atmosphere inside the arena, the roaring crowd, the unwavering backing, and the incredible force of Eala's supporters. According to Parks, it wasn't simply about facing one competitor, it felt like going up against an entire wave of momentum. She even admitted needing to deliberately ignore the audience just to stay focused. That's the level of mental challenge Eala creates.
No, that's actually really great that she has so many fans, especially for tennis, it's good. I just remember, I didn't even, I don't know, I wasn't even listening to the crowd, I was just focused on the match, but it was crazy out there, so.
Then there's Jessica Pegula, who pushed the conversation even further by describing Alex Eala not merely as a competitor, but as a true phenomenon. Pegula emphasized the sense of novelty and spark Eala delivers to the circuit, traits that are both uncommon and highly prized. In her view, what we're seeing now is only the start, and that raises a bigger question: what happens when Eala reaches her full potential? Pegula even mentioned wanting to bring her onto her podcast, not just to discuss matches, but to dive into the wave of attention and excitement she's generating across the sport. Because this goes beyond victories, it's about transforming tennis itself. Eala stands for something greater, drawing in new audiences, especially from regions that haven't traditionally been in the spotlight. She's building emotional ties, motivating the next generation, and injecting a level of thrill that extends far beyond results. That's exactly why her absence is being felt so strongly in Miami right now. The event is confronting a situation it never expected. Without Eala, the seats are visibly less filled, the energy has softened, and the sense of urgency, excitement, and anticipation has clearly faded.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come from? And then week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court. We saw it here. You can hear it from the hotel. You can hear the crowd roaring, especially at night. So it's.
For James Blake, this goes beyond a simple operational issue. It's a clear wake-up signal. The modern tennis world is shifting rapidly, and athletes like Alex Eala are leading that transformation. They're not only competitors, they're worldwide attractions who impact ticket demand, streaming figures, sponsorship agreements, and overall fan involvement. That's why Blake's reported effort to organize an exhibition match carries so much weight. It isn't only about regaining lost income, it's about recognizing a new reality in how the sport functions. However, the choice isn't his alone. The ultimate decision lies with the Women's Tennis Association and Eala herself, which adds another layer of intrigue. Will the WTA support such a plan? Will Eala accept a return appearance? Or will the tournament be forced to continue without its main attraction? If the exhibition takes place, it could completely reshape the storyline: a full stadium before the final, renewed energy, and a fresh surge of global attention. It would mark a comeback not only for Eala, but for the Miami Open as well. But if it doesn't happen, then this event could become a defining example, showing just how much influence one athlete can hold in today's sports environment. Either way, one thing is undeniable. Alex Eala is no longer just an emerging talent, she's a powerful presence. And right now, the entire tennis world is feeling her impact, even in her absence. So what's your take on this? Has Eala already turned into one of the biggest draws in women's tennis this early in her journey? Do you think James Blake is right to push for an exhibition just to bring her back, or could that create a risky precedent for future events? And if the WTA approves it, would you be excited to see her return before the final, or should the tournament simply move ahead without her? Most importantly, are we only at the start of Eala's influence, or are we already witnessing a generational shift in tennis popularity? Share your thoughts below.